Faith is a lifestyle. It is the mountain on which you stand that makes you believe that a dream is actually attainable. It is the concrete evidence that makes the logically impossible seem completely tangible. It seemed hopeless, but faith. I can't prove it, but faith. I can't explain it, but my faith has given me peace.
I'm a Christian with $100 million vision. Can nobody box me and say that's a contradiction? Goal driven, God just blessed me with the ambition. Look up, winner is erase the definition.
Many are called, but few are chosen. We've been talking about this concept for the past 2 episodes, and this is going to be my last episode in this series, Chosen. Let me recap for you what it means to be chosen. So let me just take it back a couple episodes. We talked last week, and we said that in the Hebrew, the word chosen translated as elect. A lot of people use the term, I'm God's elect. So why is that some people are called, but others are God's elect? The chosen are the ones who respond to the call in truth. The chosen are the ones whose spirit responds to the call. The chosen don't see an opportunity. The chosen aren't chasing a title. The chosen aren't chasing money. The chosen aren't chasing power. They aren't robots following a tradition. The chosen aren't doing what they mama and them said to do. The chosen ain't worried about what friends think. The chosen submit to the call of the Lord regardless of what it means for them. That's how you know if you're chosen. We have been talking about knowing when you're chosen. But let me tell y'all this. The chosen will withstand the process, knowing that the pain of the process will push them to the purpose that the Lord has for them. Oh, you know when you're chosen. Today is my final day of my series called Chosen. And today, I want to talk about the state that a lot of us may be in. Chosen in an unknown process. This is the Elevation Podcast. My name is Shawn Riff-Raff. Let's go. King.
Royalty, stand up, brand up, fam up, hand out, no way, hands up, know what, name that, it's mine, claim that, it's time, message, we shine, above all, the decline, the darkness cannot last, the shadow of my past, before I gain knowledge of heritage, I have the bloodline that I share, most powerful out here, the mover of mountains, is who I am touting, the richest among us, is who I'm the son of, from sundown, the sun up, that's how I, the come up, position, is just mine, the favor in due time, can't have it, man, you lying, the powerless, you trying, enemy beneath me, there's nothing to teach me, the people receive me, cause my God complete me, and my God does keep me, and my God that free me, and my God redeem me, and my God redeem me, king is the million, crown me, I am winning my position, God's giving, God's sending, God's chosen king.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Elevation Podcast. My name is Shawn Riff-Raff, and this is Shawn Riff-Raff Studios right here on www.shawnriffraff.com. And as always, you can check me out on Facebook. Just search Shawn Riff-Raff, or YouTube, Twitter, Roku, Apple TV. Just search for Shawn Riff-Raff Studios and look for me. But I want to get into this because I'm super excited about it. Most Christians know the story of David. Well, most people know the story of David and Goliath. As a matter of fact, we have talked about this on this very show about the story of David and Goliath. But today, we're going to talk about David in a little different of a way. Of course, David would, of course, go on to be king of Israel, and he would do some mighty things as king. Now, listen, David was anointed king somewhere between the age of 10 and 13 by Samuel. He was anointed because the king who was in power, Saul, was dishonest, he was prideful, and he lacked integrity. David was the least likely candidate to be king. He wasn't from a powerful family, he wasn't from wealth, and he wasn't popular. He was simply a nobody. He watched sheep and he played music. But God chose David, not because of his family status, not because of his money, not because of his popularity. David was chosen because of his radical and humble trust in the Lord. In an era of Israel where everyone had forgotten about God, everyone was into their own interest. So David was chosen somewhere around the age of 12. Did he immediately take his place as king? No. God had an entire process for David, which probably wasn't what David had in mind for his own life. I mean, wouldn't it be great just to get the call and jump right into it? But how often does that actually happen? I'll tell you how often. Not never. Now, by most theological accounts, David was thought to be between the age of 15 and 17 when he fought Goliath. He didn't fight Goliath because he had ambitions to be king. If you read 1 Samuel 17:26, he fought Goliath because Goliath dared come against the army of the God of Israel. David fought Goliath because of his radical belief in the God he served. Let me show you the real lesson in this. David may have been anointed around the age of 12, but he didn't take the throne as king of Israel until around the age of 30. And let me tell you this, not only did David have about a 20-year period between finding out he was chosen and taking seat in his position, in that 20-year period, it was the most dramatic process that you could ever imagine. David would sometimes play music for King Saul, and sometimes King Saul would try to kill him. King Saul was intimidated by David's anointing, so he purposely sent him out to battle hundreds of men at a time, thinking that he'd be killed and his son Jonathan would take the throne without a problem. Imagine that. The king was intimidated by the anointing of a kid. David had to run from Saul, and David had to hide from Saul, especially in the 7 years prior to him taking the throne. David had to live for years on the run. Let me tell you this in this final installment of the series Chosen. Those who are chosen have faced absolute hell for the call of God. They have faced death. They have faced enemies. They have faced betrayal, all for the call of God. Those who are chosen don't have time to consider the benefits of the call of God because they are too busy running in the direction of God because the God in heaven, the God of heaven and earth called their name. Those who are chosen don't consider the risks. Don't weigh their options. Those who are chosen risk it all and don't bat an eye. Many are called, but few are chosen. Few are willing to trust the Lord that much. Few have David-type faith. Now you gotta ask yourself, are you chosen? Are you chosen? And this is the Elevation Podcast. My name is Riff-Raff. My name is Shawn Riff-Raff. I'll be back. Faith is a lifestyle. It is the mountain on which you stand that makes you believe that a dream is actually attainable. It is a concrete evidence that makes the logically impossible seem completely tangible. It seemed hopeless, but faith. I can't prove it, but faith. I can't explain it, but my faith has given me peace.
I'm a Christian with $100 million vision. Can nobody box me and say that's a contradiction? Goal driven, God just blessed me with the ambition. Look up, winner is the definition.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Elevation Podcast, and my name is Shawn Riff-Raff. And as usual, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. The Elevation Podcast, this is the 23rd episode of the Elevation Podcast. We started on a really big bang, and during the pandemic, it kind of died, like the having all of the guests and all of that stuff in the studio here with me kind of died down, and God just has me in a place where he has me doing some things just for him, listening to his voice. And I tell you, every week he's giving me these things new, because I promise you, I don't plan it. But I thank you all for riding along, for hanging out, for being a part, for those who comment, for those who send me DMs, for those who repost. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everything you do. And I just, of course, every episode of Elevation Podcast, I got to tell you that. I got to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I really do. I have all gratitude that, you ride with me and you hang out with the Elevation Podcast every single week. And I really do appreciate it. I know it's short these days. I love it short. But I think with our attention span now, and as much as we watch TV and websites and Facebooks and YouTube these days, I've noticed that our attention span kind of goes. So I try to keep it short and sweet and say something relevant, something that can improve your life. I appreciate you. This is the Elevation Podcast. My name is Shawn Riff-Raff. Peace.
King. Royalty, stand up, brand up, fam up, hand out, no way, hands up, know what, name that, it's mine, claim that, it's time, message, we shine, above all the decline, the darkness cannot last, the shadow of my past, before I gain knowledge of heritage, I have the bloodline that I share, most powerful out here, the mover of mountains is who I am touting, the richest among us is who I'm the son of, from sundown to sun up, that's how I then come up, position is just mine, the favor in due time, can't have it, man, you lying, the powerless, you trying, enemy beneath me, there's nothing to teach me, the people receive me, cause my God complete me, and my God does keep me, and my God that free me, and my God redeem me, and my God relieve me, I'm king, the million crown me, I am winning my position, God's giving, God's in